everyone, we're just waiting. Everybody's gonna get into this room. Anybody who came in person is gonna get into this room. So we'll just be a couple more minutes. It's 11. So to get
Yeah.
like tell you how to set an communication plan.
Okay.
Yeah, should be good.
All right.
I'm excited about it. Of course I am.
Trying to figure out where.
I think we're good. Thank you.
Yeah, he said everybody to.
We'll go over here. We'll get started. Just a couple minutes. Is everyone out? Is everyone out?
I'm not sure if it's everybody going to. Hello, everybody. Okay. So do we want to see like this so that they can, you know, have people have them see each other? This view is good.
This view is good.
Okay.
All right, shall we?
Well,
That's all right. Just let them know.
Hi, everybody. We're going to start. I have to be here. That's really hard. You know. Hi, everybody who is online, who is virtually. I'm Lucia Tartari. I'm the admissions and enrollment field consultant for the diocese. I've been in this position for 6 years and a little bit, almost 6.5 years. And I support all the schools with admissions, enrollment, financial aid, scholarships, and you know, whatever it's needed in order for our schools to grow. So this is my position, and Sarah is going to do another part of this presentation. So she's right here.
Hi there, I am Sarah Tupper. I am the Marketing Communications Coordinator here for our Catholic schools. I've been here just about over a year, and I have been out to all but one of our schools. And some multiple times in the best way. And my role really is to share the good news of our Catholic schools at a general level and then to help you locally. So I'm pretty excited about this session because it does both. It does a little bit of both. I'm going to hand it back to Lucia so she can kind of introduce the tool.
Okay, so the idea, next slide.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah,
What
sure.
is my just pass here to connect to your Wi-Fi?
Summit 2022.
Summit.
Summit_2022.
Oh, thank you. All capitalized. Thank you.
Sarah, where is it?
Yeah, so you have to go to that tab, to the front. This one.
Thank you.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I'll go back here so that you can see everybody.
Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about how this process is at this point in time. The introduction of a school admin for our schools. Just a quick update. All our schools are in school admin right now for the billing process, for everything up to billing process. Catholic Central is not in the admissions and enrollment piece yet. They are going to start doing that for next year. So for right now, all our schools have transitioned into that. This was a system that the reason why we did that is because customer relationship management is an important tool. Most business nowadays use that because that's a quick and efficient way to really communicate with your public, your customer. And in our case, we have been looking for something that our schools could do. So before we move on, who has been working with school admin here? Our principals? Anybody else? No? So, okay, so good. School admin has been, in general, it has been okay. Principals are doing it, the schools are doing it. There were some challenges with the billing piece a little bit in the beginning, but I think that was, now people are getting more used to it. And we hope that in time, everybody will feel very comfortable, because the more I learn about it, really is very rich. There's a lot there. And just to, we are just skimming the surface for right now. We don't know much yet, but our goal, my goal in this coming year, and that's why we started yesterday, is making sure that our schools, and that's why we are doing this session, we want to make sure that you are using school admin to the best of possible way. And one of the things we need to start right away is this communication plan, because you're going to start a new enrollment season pretty soon. And we need to make sure that this communication plan is working and functioning for you, for the students that come, and you have that automated plan that will save you time in sending individual emails, but will give you reminders of everything that you need to do or you can do. So this is the first thing that we want to say. Also, I'm gonna move on to the next slide. I was also gonna talk to you about a little bit that there is a parent portal. And a parent portal is where all parents go for everything in school admin. And that's very common for all the systems. We used to have parent portals for, Smart Tuition. We have parent portals for everything, for Infinite Campus. So parents are used to that. So they go to the parent portal and they can do a lot of those things, sign contracts, and follow up with their admissions and enrollment process. This system is not going to substitute the student system, okay? The student system is our Infinite Campus that goes through, that keeps the students' records, that teachers are in, that the classes are in. So that's not what it does. It does the admissions, enrollments up to billing, and the student program will be in the middle there, maintaining that student data, that school data and classroom data. Also, we're going to do, like I mentioned here, and I mentioned before, the beauty of this CRM, we looked at several other products, is that it goes all the way to the billing piece. And that made it very affordable for us, because actually the cost of having everything is paid by the fee that the parents paid because of the billing process, which was the same fee that they used to pay for the other system. So it is cost efficient for the schools. So that was one important factor for us to decide to use the school admin. I wanted to show the ones who, please forgive me, the ones who use it, because I wanted to have a quick show to show quickly to people who are not using it what it looks like. This is the initial. Dashboard. So as families inquire about the school, they keep moving through the process: inquiry, application, complete the application, are accepted, they are enrolled. Okay. So students, when they move through this, This is how they are going to look like at the end in enrollment. This is what you have, all your students in enrollment. And you can see that for each of student that is here, this is their student information. Look, all this information is the parent information, the address, the communication information. There is a summary with checklists, you know, everything that the student needs to complete, that the school needs the students to complete to be able to be enrolled in the school. So there are the checklists are there. There are other information here, including billing. And I want to go to one. No, that's not it. Sorry, I'm gonna just gonna go to one student here. So we have this. So this is what it looks like for an administrator. What Kevin sees, what Ryan will see or sees. So this is what the schools see. There are notes here. Everything that you do, you note here. You set up reminders for you, or say, or for somebody else. To say, I want my school, my administrator, my secretary to contact this person. So you put a reminder, and if the person is in the system, she's going to get an email and say, okay, I got this inquiry yesterday. You need to follow up with this person. So there's an email. From here, they can communicate with them, send emails, send text message, you generate letters, you can communicate from the same page. And you can also, when they are already enrolled and if they did everything, you know, correctly and they are complete, they can manage contracts right from here. So their contracts are also here. From here, also, the schools have the opportunity to go to the parent portal and check what the parents are seeing. Okay, I have authorization from this parent to impersonate. So I will be seeing what, and the school can see what the parent sees. This is the parent portal. This is what your parent is seeing. Okay, so here they also see their checklists. So the same checklist that you had there, the parent here has it. So they know what stage they are in the process and what they are still missing. So it makes it very simple and put a lot of the work that we used to have into the parents, because they are filling out the application. Their names, everything, all the information from the application is there, and it's going to be automatically uploaded into Infinite Campus, saving time from the schools to have to do that again and put the information again. So no more paper applications, no more, all this tracking can be done in Infinite Campus. So this is why it's, you know, something we wanted to show you, because it's very important. And for us in the diocese, what was important is that they allow us, the school admin allows us to have a site for our inquiries too, because we, okay, let's see, share this step. Okay, for the diocese, okay, for the diocese, sorry, presentation, okay. For the diocese, we can use the same thing to, Sarah, how do I make it big?
I'm sorry.
How do I make it big again? Or is it okay like this? Can you see it? Okay, so this is, as you see here, you know, we don't have a school that has 3,715 inquiries for 22-23, but we do. We have this 3,715 in our list of baptized children that this year are between 3 and 5 years old or up. So this, we have 3,000 are in school age that we collected from the parishes for been collecting ever since I started here. So if we go to, how do I, back to my page.
The top, yep. Go to the top and then the dashboard.
No, what I mean here. No, I'm on the thing mode.
Go up to the tabs there.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, there you go. Sorry. I don't use Canvas, so this presentation is throwing me off. I never did. It's the first time that I'm using Canvas. Okay, so if you go, for example, for us, if I go to 23, 24, you will see that we will change. I have 543 kids that can only start school next year. So I have 43 that were baptized 3 or 4 years ago. And we have, for 24, 25, we have, let's see how many they're gonna bring. I don't know, 525. I don't know if that's it or if it's still thinking. And we even have, not for 22, 25, no, because there will be people that are being baptized this year. We don't have that. But so for us, it will be a great tool because all these families that are here, these kids that are baptized. So that's why we need communication plans, because we can easily separate them, but we want this communication to be automated too. So for us to deal with all this number of kids that are growing, and we didn't know how to control what age they are, so it was very hard. So this was wonderful and will be wonderful for the diocese and the work on your behalf. So that's the idea, and that's why we are planning on this, and we want to build this communication plan for you, for your schools, and also for us, so that we know how to reach out, or we have better ways to reaching out to these families. Okay.
So should we be putting our baptisms, something like that too then?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you have it, of course, I collect from all your parishes, right? And please don't say, oh, I'm going to put it, so the diocese don't need. No, it's extra. What we do is extra. We do 5 emails a year. We don't overdo. We do 5 emails and we do target. So we will do, Christmas from the diocese, Christmas coming from us. It's different. They feel they really like to be reached out from us too. And it's that extra effort. You might send them something specific. I'm not going to send something specific. It's registration time. We send those emails that are about our faith, Easter, maybe summer. Oh, summertime. Look for our schools if you haven't enrolled yet. Or Catholic Schools Week. We do Catholic Schools Week too. So we do 5 emails per year. And we have that opportunity to do that.
And those have to be, so you get the information from the parish, names, email, all that,
Yes.
and then input it, like just.
Yes, it's very simple to use, to input them. If you have a whole list, you can do import exports, like we did from school. Remember that from Infinite Campus we did, remember? And they are going to do the same thing. They build import exports for you, and you can do that. Or if it's a one person you want to do, everybody can do this. And this is what I do. For example, here, if you see here, see this person here from me? That's a website inquiry. People do go to our website, the diocese, and looking for a school, right? So I go to the website, I label them website inquiry because it comes from me. So what I do when I know that this person, this person is interested in OLC because they are moving from Texas. They're coming there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to your school because we have the access to your school. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to enroll there. And I'm going to add this inquiry to you. So you will know right away that you have an inquiry. That's what we have been doing already. We just send you a quick email just to tell, okay, that inquiry is there. On your site, after we do that, we changed the status to say that that's a diocesan inquiry. Just so we can track how many of our people, the people that came to us, actually enrolled. Because otherwise, I never knew. I had to go, those 3,000 names, 5,000 names that are there, before they put here, I had to go look one by one in Infinite Campus to see if they had enrolled or not, because we had no way. So that's the way we are going to do. Okay, so is that okay? Because I think Sarah needs time for her communication plans, and we will have time in the and for more questions if you want. Thank you. So we'll move to,
I think someone asked us a question on the.
is there a question? Okay, so let's see. So do we need to enter baptized children separately from what you have already entered? Yes, I have not entered baptized kids into yours. You will see that you don't have 3,000, or don't have all those. You have to enter your baptized kids there, but it's still, encourage your parish to send that to us. We contact the parishes directly, but encourage your parish to send your lists to us too, because that's the extra step. We want to make sure to hit them from all sides. But yes, you need to add your baptized lists to yours. And yeah, we are not doing that in yours. We are doing that in ours, so we can keep touch with them. When they show any interest, if they show any interest to us, we will move them through the inquiry, filling an inquiry form into yours, in your site.
Thanks. Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to talk specifically about communication plans. I'm pretty excited about this. In my past life, sorry, I'm stay here. In my past life, I was a recruiter from home. So I worked they'd give you an account and they say you have to hire for these 5 jobs, and here, go on LinkedIn and find them. And, if you have any leads, you have to put them into a CRM, into a customer relationship management tool. Because we were all virtual and that was the only way it was all going to stay organized. If it was going to be sent to the boss, I had notes on what we had talked about each time. So I'm pretty excited to have this available to us, but I'm also, from the diocesan side, yeah, we can capitalize on those sacramental lists. We can be more purposeful. I can pick a date and say I want it to go to these people. But I'm also excited for you all, because there's just so many opportunities. Once I go through this, I think you're going to be like, well, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we trigger by this? And once you set it up and you're in a really, if it's purposeful and intentional what you're doing, it should kind of be a set it and forget it option. And I just want to remind you, this is one tool out of our many marketing things that we do. And this definitely has to do with nurturing people into enrollment. So my radio commercials might not say enroll now. That's a different marketing tool I'm using. But this one I'm pretty excited about. So I want to say, what is a communication plan? I think we all know for accreditation why we have that. We have, we've either by calendar or event-based, or it might be general branding. It might even be like a donate focus in our communication plan. But specific to school admin, to boil it down, it is series of steps that connect somebody in the system of school admin to your school. In my case, it connects somebody in school admin to the diocese. And another way to use it, another communication plan you can do it, is connecting someone in your school to another person in your school to help nurture that person in the system. So you can do basically two types of communication plans. External, where you're going to be talking to that inquiry. You're going to say, hey, prospective student, we're so glad you're here. The other one is going to say, hey, Ryan, can you call this person today? It's going to trigger something within school admin, and it's going to send you an email that says you need to call X, Y, and Z today. So it's it's like a multifunctional thing, like an organizational tool almost. That's the what. So connecting the system to the school, basically connecting somebody in the system to the school. And then why we would do that? I mean, why are we going to do this? Well, number one, because you guys paid for it. And you've done a lot of work to implement it. Let's use everything, biggest bang for our buck. Let's use it all and see if we love it. And if we don't, we scrap the communication plan and we start again. But I really think you're going to like it. So pay for it. Second one is you can personalize your enrollment experience. So you can say, Okay, I know Nicholas is an inquiry and his parents live, in East Grand Rapids, and I know they're gonna have a lot of summer programming. You can personalize those messages to trigger to Nicholas's parents, hey, we're going to be at the East Grand Rapids Library on Saturday for trunk or treat. Please join us. Look for a red car. And you can, those details might not be part of your plan, but the fact that you know that something's going to be sent out to these folks without you having to do one-offs and to put it into Excel, and that everybody can see that it was sent and everybody can see that it was opened, is important. While you can personalize it, you can also broaden it. So you can say, I only want to email prospects in 49503. I want to target this geolocation. With the billing aspect of it too, you can target socioeconomics. I only want to target, this group and talk about variable tuition, and we'll walk them through step by step. Or hey, we put out a new video, and you haven't gone from inquiry to applying. Maybe tuition is something for you. So we're going to target those folks. And then, to work smarter and not harder. Again, that's if you do it purposely, if you really sit down and think of when you would want it to trigger to who, it should be a set it and forget it. And then you have all that extra time, hopefully, to nurture the personal relationships. Then you can chit chat with people and say, oh, I can drop off a lawn sign now because I know I've sent them 4 emails to lead up to that. So that's why. I don't know if I have to sell you more on that. Do I have to sell you more on why we should do that? Yes, Ryan.
In how, this might be off track, but in how it plays with the campus, like those data sets that we can pull up from, will we be able to pull from the campus side too if we wanted to do that?
That's a great question. I don't know all of it, so I wasn't a part of what pulls to what.
We don't pull from the campus
Right, pull
into,
from school admin.
in this school admin will be, and whatever you need, you can pull out from the campus if you want to report from the campus, or you can pull out a report from the school admin, because,
I'm just wondering if those sets will be auto-created. Probably not.
Probably not, but I'm wondering if in campus, like you downloaded or ran a report for what parish. Maybe you have, external parishes, and you only download those.
We currently create those kind of lists in campus, but that'd be great if school admin. So
Could grab those too.
well, if it's parish is collected in school admin, so you can get that.
Yeah, I would
Every
visit.
item that you collect in school admin can be added automatically to your emails and to the Google parish. You can say,
Sorry. So the question here for virtual, and Ryan is asking, basically how, if you're pulling reports from Infinite Campus based on student data and then curating those lists, can that be probably pulled into school admin or vice versa, so that you can message and target? We would have to try that.
Yeah.
We would have to try that.
Like I said, every item that is in the school admin that the family puts there can be used to populate your emails to say, okay, we are gonna send anybody for this parish. You can use that.
Right.
You can do reports, create several reports, all the items that are there, you can create a report.
Or maybe I'm thinking about it wrong, maybe I should just start relying on school admin communications more.
That would be great. That would be right. But really, yeah, if maybe, I would study maybe one of your student profiles and say, what are we doing here? What kind of data do we have in school admin that I can trigger off of? Because then it's a possibility. Maybe it's already happening and you don't need to pull from Infinite Campus. It can just be.
That I showed you, the list of the students, and click on top of that, you can sort. So you can go to that, only 4th grader, you list, sort, click all the ones that you sorted, and then you send one email. So you click it there, and one email, it goes to everybody.
Right. Those are the one-off occurrences. And then, and so the next part I'm going to show you is the how. So how you set up a communication plan. So if you're going to plan those out ahead of time, you're always going to target a zip code or parishes that are not St. Thomas, then you can make a communication plan just for them with multiple steps within. So if we go, so this is the how. So the how is really cool. We don't have a ton because I'm sending 5 emails from school admin, like Lucia said. We're designing and sending only 5. That was kind of part of the deal to get the parish lists. Great, okay. So, but for you guys, you can come up with so many steps, so many targets. You can really personalize this stuff. So what I did, we meet on a bi-monthly basis with people who hold our positions in other dioceses. So Seattle, Philadelphia, Orlando, all over the country. And a lot of them use school admin. The guy in Philadelphia, it's his primary role, his name is Owen Lowe. His primary role is school admin for secondary schools. So he's supporting 15 diocesan high schools just with school admin. He's been doing it. This is their 4th recruiting cycle. He's really passionate about it. I asked him to record a 5-minute session, and he gave me 24 minutes. And then he said, I'll pare it down, and now it's 18 minutes, which I'm not going to show you all today. I do have it in its full, if you guys want, I will follow up. But I do want to show you, he tells us pretty nicely how to do it. So I'm gonna play about 3 minutes, stop it, we can talk about it, and then we'll play some more.
Perspective on what an example communication plan might look like, how it can be used, like I said before, to kind of move families through your admissions funnel slowly but surely. So this is an example of, I would say, from the top here that says Inquiry Nurture Campaign 1 all the way through Inquiry Nurture Campaign 10 is an example of the layout for exactly what it says, an Inquiry Nurture Campaign or a Push to Apply campaign that this example school would be using to push families that are push students that are in the inquiry level through to the applicant stage by sending them a successive plan of emails over a certain period of time. In this case, from 15 days after they have applied, all the way through to 105 days after they've applied, to ensure that they're getting constant communication from the school on varying different topics, as you can see from the titles here, highlighting academic features, highlighting general instrumental music features, highlighting extracurricular features as a whole, a student testimonial, a teacher testimonial, highlighting on athletics, on visit opportunities, on specialized programs, on college readiness, hitting some kind of key marketing topics through a successive plan to ensure that the goal being that families that would be brought into this communication plan, and I'll show you how they're done so in a minute, but that over the course of, starting at 15 days, then at 20 days, then at 25 days, if they have not moved to the next stage, which in this case, they come in as an inquiry, and if they have not moved to the applicant stage, they continue receiving email content just about every 10 days until they move into that next communication plan step. And from here, once they have left the inquiry stage and moved into, we're going to move into the admission stage here, they get put into another set of steps of the communication plan, pushing them from 2 days after they submit their application to 25 days after they submit their application. In this case, by this school standard, the period of time in which they historically see families making the decision from submitting an application to completing an application, with general reminders that go out to these families on this successive basis over this period of time, from 2 days to 15 days out to 25 days out, that making sure that they're receiving content from the school, pushing them to complete their application, and then finally, after completing their application and being accepted, brought into a third communication plan, then pushing them to register with the school as well. So starting at the very basic steps, the way the communication plans are broken down is.
Okay, I'm going to pause it there. Do you guys have any questions about that? It's the 3 funnels, 3 different communication plans. So he's writing different steps for those three. Well, no.
Is there such a thing as over communication?
There could be, is it?
So, I came from Cincinnati, St. Xavier High School, all the way to high school. We used school admin. And the research we did in talking about practices, we tried to get to 27 touch points with each applicant.
So
Prior to enrollment.
So sorry, one sec, for the people virtually, the question was, is there such a thing as over communication? And Terry from Catholic Central says in his previous role, they had 27 touch points before admission.
Like enrollment.
Before
Some of that was
enrollment.
direct mail, some of that was a phone, you could get thank you note, phone call, direct mail, and email. But the research we did nationally, it literally was 27 touch points. So
20.
you have your Catholic Central fans who from birth know their child is coming to Catholic Central. You still want to treat them as you would anybody else. So this is really more in line with families who may be new, are open to different high schools and then a public school. They're in a Catholic school, they really haven't considered high school as their oldest child. But yeah,
You would consider this for new families, right? Because they need that information. It's different from, we do have a family that is from the parish and the school, but, yeah.
So 27 touch points over one period of time.
no, typically it's going to be, it could be, really it's kind of a 6 month, and in Ohio, every school, we weren't allowed to, no, that's not so true. Yeah, some of that would be, we would buy tests and send stuff, and then once we have a connection to them, inquiry or whatever, is when we start that. But, if they shadow, these things happen. Okay, if they came to open house, these things happen. And to your question, they would call us and say, leave us alone. Okay, so we get to, and that didn't happen very often, but there was a point where they said, you know what, we're good. But for most, you think about it, I don't have college kids yet, but I see it from family and other friends. How many inquiries do you get from colleges when you're a junior and senior? Once they get access to your SAT scores, they're going to start getting mail all the time. Colleges aren't doing that because, hey, let's just try to say there's research-based, evidence there to support what we're doing.
Were you all able to hear that? Katie, were you able to hear that answer?
Pretty loud, so.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, awesome. I didn't know if I had to repeat it. Great. Okay, are there any other questions before I push play again? He's really going to show you how to set up those triggers. So he was basically here showing you the 3 funnels. Okay, we'll keep going.
And then Sarah, on the phone, it was really echoey. I don't know if you can resolve that at all.
I'm gonna sure try. Let me push
Thanks.
play.
As I just described, are exactly like I said, they are built in order to help assist you in pushing families and students to the next stage in the admissions enrollment process. So typically you would start at the inquiry level in adding, so each layer of the communication plan is added as a step. And each of those steps families are brought into those steps through a trigger, either through meeting a certain criteria that happens through completing a checkpoint in the system, or by entering a status. So in this case, that we're at the inquiry communication plan stage, entering any one of the inquiry stages could be set as a trigger to bring this student and family into a communication plan. Additional criteria can also be set to match the trigger or to add value to the trigger that's being set. So if we want to, again, as I mentioned before, this feature allows you to really narrow the scope and population that you're working with. So you can use additional criteria to narrow your scope from, okay, maybe we don't want to send the email to all inquiries that come in the system. Maybe we want to send it to all inquiries entering grade 9. or maybe we want to send it to all inquiries with an athletic interest that is baseball or basketball or field hockey. Whatever the case may be, we have the flexibility, as long as it's being collected as a field in school admin, have the ability to set that as a filter criteria. But once your trigger and your filter criteria are set, you then have the flexibility to perform an action as your communication plan step. So the primary action that's being completed is sending an email to a family or an internal constituent or whatever that may be. Additionally, just like you have the flexibility in setting the additional criteria to allow families or internal constituents to meet the communication plan criteria, you also have the flexibility to change how or the time period that this communication plan is going out. So you can either set the rules to send the communication step plan step out immediately or on a certain day or after a certain period of time. So similar to how these communication plan steps are set up over a successive period of time after the student meets the trigger, you can set 10 days after they meet the trigger, or 25 days after they meet the trigger, or 90 days after they meet the trigger. Whatever you decide to set there, you can set the appropriate time in which they will be receiving the content. And you also have the flexibility of choosing who you would like the content to go to, whether it be all parents of a student or just mothers or just fathers, if you're doing a marking off of a specific trigger. But like I said before, as well as being able to affect external users, so students, families, you also have the flexibility to make communication plans for internal school admin users as well. So creating reminder emails for individuals that may need to check their system because of a certain update to a student status or whatever the case may be, you have the flexibility to do that as well. And then in completing the process, choosing the email template that you would like to use to match with the expected outcome that so whether you're pushing the family to apply, or in the case of the admissions communication plan, pushing the family to complete their application, or in the case of the enrollment communication plan, pushing the family to submit their registration or to foster them after they've already registered with your school.
Sorry, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna show you all now the diocesan side and where those templates live. So if you go to settings here at the top bar in communication here, this is where you can start creating some templates. So they don't have to be put into a communication plan yet. You can get your creative set, and then you can start talking with your team and saying, oh, we need to schedule this one out. Start your storytelling, right, Betsy? And start taking your story and making it into small, tangible chunks that people can digest, digestible chunks. Sorry. So here's where you would set up an email template. Email is probably your primary touch point at this point. And this is what we've come up with over the past year and what we have sent out. This was what we sent out for Catholic Schools Week in January to our Sacramento lists. So, please come to our open house. Here we are, great hashtag. If you're not interested, we kind of always have to put this disclaimer in there. If you're not interested, go to your parent.
We always make sure that if we are not interested in our schools, that we promote our faith formation. Check out with your parents for your faith formation. It's just, we don't care. When we care, we want them in our schools, but if not, we want them in our parishes.
Right.
So
right. We want
now in
all the babies to heaven, So if that's faith formation for them, so be it. Let's see. Can Lucia come up front when she talks? Sure, she can.
I said that we added that disclaimer there every time that we send an email. If the students, we tell the families that if they are not interested in schools at this moment in time, that they should look for their parishes for information. And we are putting the link to our diocese, the list of parishes also on the email, so they can click right away if that's what they want. Sorry about that.
Right.
I'm not Terry. My voice does not Terry.
Courtney, do you have a question?
Does not compare.
Yeah, are we able from our end to see your templates for ideas?
Sure, this is one of them. This is one of the 5 that we sent.
Yes, what I mean is when we
I have them
log
kind of
in,
all
we
here
won't
listed
be able to
templates.
see those.
Oh, no.
But
do you want-
yeah,
I can
just
send you guys
kind
the
of get the
PDF.
wheels
Yeah, this
spinning
is
on
all-
ideas is helpful for me as a visual person.
Absolutely. So it's, I think one of the best things about this is you can make it very personalized. It will always look like it's coming from Portland St. Pat's. You know what I mean? It does not have to have my branding in it at all, because this is a personal touch point between your school and one inquiry to your school. We are removed from that now. If you want to talk about the diocese or a bishop's letter or something great, that would be nice.
Well, I just think that time spent thinking about content, like, oh yeah, okay, we could.
For sure.
Once we get the
So
hang
please
of it,
note-
then it becomes natural, but building in those new habits takes a little bit of time.
Just totally. So this is a graphic I created on Canva. This is text that we wrote, and you can see that I'm pulling in some of those fields from school admin. So think about that. What you might do. You can even pull in, and get really detailed with it. You can pull in, like gender pronouns. So you're not saying your child would be good here. You can say he's good. He would be great here. Something like that. So play around with some of those too. But this was just you can embed videos. You can do anything you would do in a normal email. So these are just some that I wanted to share. Like this is the creative. You can see the branding that we're talking about. It should all look very similar, but mine is not in a communication plan at this point, because we send them all at once. So if we got a trigger, if I set up the trigger for an inquiry we got today, and then I said 20 days later, send out the summer tip list, that wouldn't work for all of my inquiries. So I have to think that through a little bit. And maybe we can identify a date. So every summer I'm sending on June 25th this email, something like that.
And what we are doing too is because our lists are big, we target, we send different texts and emails targeting the age of the kids. So we do like the ones that are gonna start only in 24, 25, and we target a message to younger kids, to parents of younger kids. Those mostly happen in the summer, are the ones that I normally send to instead of the Easter is for everybody. But in the summer, inviting them to still consider our schools, we always send by age, different messages by age. Pictures.
So before I move on and tell you about how I'm going to plan in the next couple of months, how you can help, how you can plan, where you should get started, does anybody want to share like a trigger that you're thinking of right away? Something like right away, you're like, we need to do that.
Well, for us, with inquiries, inquiries will lead to automatically information about shadowing in the fall, house, that's for anybody, in the house. Spring, I can see it triggering summer programming, athletic camps, academic programming we have in the summertime. If there's Santa coming up, there's our Easter bunny thing we did, whatever that was, but lots of ideas.
Okay.
For us, we use Catholic schools because of a time not only to celebrate, but also to mark it up to others. And we do our preschool kindergarten roundup. And so as we begin to turn that corner through the holidays, we're going to want to have that ready to go to invite families to join us for preschool kindergarten.
Yes, absolutely. So Betsy from St. Thomas said their Catholic School Week efforts include inviting prospects to preschool or kindergarten roundup. And so in January, she'll want to set up some triggers for those age kids with some invitations. Yeah, Ryan.
I'm thinking about this, right, that like Betsy and I could sit down tomorrow and we could go. Friday.
On Friday, yeah.
But we could go through and we know that at the end of Catholic schools, we're going to Catholic schools, we want all our parents to get their contract and all their registration form and all that stuff. We just set it up right now, and then we don't have to worry about it. We can set up everything separate.
You could.
One meeting, we would set up like 3 months for the
That's right.
application that needs to go out.
That's right. You're set because you're doing it by date. So just look at your calendar. Okay, we're going to start dripping this on a Monday, Wednesday, or if it's all in one email, then yeah, just pick your date for sure.
And then, Sarah, once at CC, once a child enrolls in post-enrollment communication, you prepare them for summer and for the school year to happen too, right?
Right.
Yes,
Totally.
post enrollment also, you can create a plan for that. You can also create a plan for your current students because they have to be registered, right? So every year you're going to be using that to, in some way, to inform them. There might be, when they are moved into, from Infinite Campus into school admin for the following year, they will be, there will be another track. You can have another track there.
Yes, Jen.
Okay, so from a teacher perspective here, I started like drafting my emails and saving them all in Google Doc, but like I find myself sending saying welcome back to school, this is what your kid needs, etc. So is there this is from a teacher perspective, I'm like, ooh.
Well,
I have Christmas family emails that I send out, but I have to one-off them all the time, and I have to go is there a teacher app?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Or some-
If you didn't hear the question, it is from a teacher's perspective. If she could automate our communication plan for welcome back to school or, Christmas family and use the triggers in that way. I don't know if there's a teacher admin option.
Well, we usually school or Infinite Campus for that too, and Campus Messenger.
I have that.
Yes.
So, is there a way to do that, to set each?
I don't know. The way that we're looking at it is school admin is the get you there. You know what I mean? It's the get you there. And then we've got the Infinite Campus. Some of us use Evangelist. Some of us, there's all sorts of Gmail accounts that use more current family things. I would probably use this for more enrollment purposes.
Sarah, separate topic to that point, I think something that I'm hearing from our teachers and our coaches would be easy communication with their students, with their athletes, with their club members.
Mhm.
The kids already do well. It's very separate, obviously, when we're talking about how to make that point.
Mhm.
That would be helpful.
Sure.
Yeah.
That would be really, really useful.
We'll ask.
I wonder. I'll ask
We ask
Owen.
everything. We'll ask them and and see what they have and if there's anything that can be done through.
Well, what I do right now is I literally go and I just create Google contact lists. and stuff
Sure,
like that.
sure.
It's a little tedious, because Infinite Campus is a little funky.
Mhm.
So, but I have to then take that initial time of and then during all that, it's a.
Well, it would be nice too. It would be nice if you,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you guys use to communicate regularly? Well, you send emails through Infinite Campus?
I would.
So we have a weekly parent email that goes out that we send if they receive the text and email, whether we're doing emergency communication or it would be this year's Infinite Campus Messenger.
Yeah.
We used to remind that last year, then we switched.
To
To
That's
campus,
right.
yes.
That's right.
Good
Yeah.
message.
I was getting confused. Is school admin communication? Should we be using that for?
No, it was Scott.
Not
all.
It's not like current,
No.
just.
No.
The big question is, do we do communication plan for,
Infinite Campus.
get all of that to some people in groups?
So,
But then an inquiry with somebody who emails.
I'll tell you offline. The onboarding,
So two separate.
and we.
The inquiries, you have you remember I showed you my inquiries. You can have 2 different tracks if you create different inquiries, labels. So you put where your website inquiry would be
That'd
there.
our team.
Your parish baptism list, you can create a, let's say, parish baptism list. So when you select it, you know, you create a track for that family, but then there is the inquiry, the ones that are ready to start. So that's a different plan because they are ready to
Right.
start.
I mean, you might get an email from, you don't know if they're religious or not. So you might not want to send that many religious email. You know what I mean? You want to say, you want to talk more about the benefits of academics or something like that, or sports. So,
This is helpful. I mean, there's not.
Yeah. So-
you know,
Yeah, do that, what you
Yeah.
there, and create some label.
so for people virtually, we have a couple of conversations going on. One is, like how do you add labels or how do you filter based on like a website inquiry or your baptismal list? And there are fields where you would enter that separately because you might have a different communication plan for them. You might have somebody who's separate. You don't know if they're religious, so you're going to focus on academics or you know, athletics, something like that. And then the other conversation over here was what they use for their just constant communication, their weekly, whether it's newsletters, teachers, and did I hear constant contact is one of the,
That's what we use.
okay, so Catholic Central, St. Thomas is using constant contact. What is OLC?
I use Evangelist.
Evangelist, okay. Holy Spirit, what do you,
We go through it.
through Infinite Campus, okay. So those are more for your current families. I guess I wouldn't recommend school admin for your current families at this point. I would keep it that funnel, you know, those are the pre, before enrollment folks. Okay. So and I just wanted to share, lastly, you know, I always want to share what my budget is being spent on and what my communication plans in general are so that you guys aren't surprised by anything as you plan your own. And using this, so like I said, 5 emails and one of them is Christmas. So this was last year's, we sent this at Christmas time. I'm prepping another one that will go to all the sacramental contacts that we have from our parishes, and I will invite them to Christmas Mass. So your local Christmas Mass, they have, the diocese collects when children's masses are and post it to their website. So I'm going to say, please find your local children's Mass. We invite 3, 4, 5, you know, we'll be pretty specific about the ask. Then another part of my budget will be to geo-target that parking lot of that church. So the kids we do come to children's Mass, they are now, if they have their locations on their phones, they're going to start receiving ads from our diocese. Similar looking, I know. it's a lot of people would call it scary. If you're not in the business of geo-targeting, you're going to start to notice when you leave a Kohl's parking lot that you're going to see that Kohl's shirt they know. So we're not alone in this. It's not illegal. We're going to be very judicious about what the information we provide and what we ask of them. Christina from DPA said she uses school admin for her weekly emails. So that's another perspective. Thanks, Christina.
You were talking about budget though. Why are you talking about budget when you're choosing 5 things to send out?
So I'm doing this on top. So I'm sending to our sacramentalist, I'm sending a school admin email. I'm also sending, because I have their physical address, I'm sending them a postcard as well and inviting them. And if I can segment it by zip code, I might list a couple parishes, you know, it depends. Like if I'm up with Ludington, of course I want to direct them to St. Simon, you know, go. So then that geo target. So if I were you guys and you're looking at me like, oh my gosh, where do I start with this communication plan? You know you can trigger all inquiries, and we know that December 25th is a big deal for us. So, you know, set that up that your first school admin test is going to be that on December 20th, you know, Merry Christmas. We invite you to our children's Mass. Simple. You know what I mean? That can be your first. Go ahead, Ryan.
But our inquiry list right now, unless we pre-upload, it's only gonna have.
That's right. Yeah. So.
I just wanna make sure.
Yeah. So some people have, you know, 50, some have 10 because, you know, and some have 3 because they've maybe been keeping track on a piece of paper, and so they have to like manually update this.
But that you can use your baptism list, get your baptism list from 5 years ago from the parish. Yeah, but back from 5 years ago because they are ready now. So start to getting the ones from 5 years, get the list from previous years. I have lists from your parishes from years before. I am not authorized, to share the list with anybody. So if you want your list that I have, you would have to ask your priest and say if they give me authorization to share with you, because, some people. So,
Yeah.
Excuse me, on the reverse side, we're all talking about baptism. I had to reach out to Catholic Central to see how far back they go with graduates of St. Thomas students
Sure.
for alumni purposes. So will this also track like alumni?
that's one thing that from the beginning we talked to them, they say that it's not done for that, but they know of people who use for that.
Okay, Dan, this kind of goes with your question as well.
We're
Using it for alumni purposes.
Okay.
for alumni.
Lori was able to give me back to 2010, I think, of St. Thomas graduates.
I would also reach out to Stephanie Snyder.
Okay.
If she has any letters of tool, she might be able to go beyond. Yeah.
So Betsy at St. Thomas's is asking if she goes back, if she adds alumni from 2010 forward, can it be used? Can we use it for that? And we were never shown that by school admin, but there's really no reason not to. So, and then Dan asked, can we add people to school admin without their consent? We're trying to engage alumni who may have school-age children and sometimes get contact information from friends of friends. I would say, what would you say?
Well,
I'm a little
our
bit older
baptism
than,
lists don't get authorization, but the school admin is based on the kid. So based on the child. Everything you do, your inquiries, you need the child's name. It's based out of that. Sometimes I get a phone call and they tell me, okay, I have a 3-year-old, 4-year-old. Sometimes I forget to ask the name of the child. So I have to put unknown and put the last name, because they gave me their name, but I don't have the parent name, but I don't have the child. So the school admin is based on the child, the future student. So I don't know what kind of information you get, but if you do, you're gonna have to come up with that.
I think alumni are fair game. We have alumni, as much data as we can find, and
Yeah, they are alumni. Yeah.
We always give them the option to opt out.
Yes, we've been doing that.
Communications, but no.
We've been doing that too, but yes, alumni, no, I think that yes, well, we get from the baptism lists and you upload them, we don't get this authorization.
Yeah,
If they
I'll
don't
say-
want it, they ask to unsubscribe.
And say that, I believe that CC would buy less of zip codes.
Right,
Send that-
right.
That's gonna be more direct mail than.
That's right, but you can't
email.
use it, yeah.
It's still, we're sending out information, so, no, I
Right.
think it's very important.
Dan, we all agree. I think we all agree. Oh, we all agree that you can do it. But, add that, maybe you want to craft your unsubscribe message as such, if you're receiving this email because you're an alumni of All Saints and we wanted to get a hold of you, something like that. Unsubscribe if you don't like us. That's all.
But no matter what, even if you don't have a communication plan right now, right, and Betsy, if you don't have to write all the emails ahead of time, if you're gonna make a plan, right? If there is no time for that, don't avoid using, just create an email like we did. We create emails as we need them, but we create there, send through that, and that becomes a template. So you can do it for next year, you can do it again, and it is there. And then when you are ready to create a communication plan, you already have several that you create before.
So far, we only use it for billing, so we do have templates for billing. We do fill out
Okay.
contract,
Okay.
all that stuff, but so far, that's all we consider using it for, and now we're starting to play around.
Right, yes.
That's what I hope. That's what I hope. And in the upcoming months, I would like to have a series of communication go out to our marketers, to our principals and say, okay, now you do that. Like last week I sent out, if you don't have a school admin inquiry form on your website, here's how to do it, because that's the fastest way to get it in there. Then you've got, okay, now you've got 5 leads instead of 4 for your Christmas email. You know what I mean? So get them there as fast as you can, and then work on that communication plan. So I'm going to be sending out a series of, again, like, here's what we should do next. This is the next one. Your next marketing minute from me will be, this is a communication plan. Here's the YouTube link for the whole 18 minutes if you really want to do it. But here's the highlights. You know, if I were going to start a communication plan, I'd listen from 8 minutes to 16 minutes. You know, boom.
So school admin, what is important now at this time is, you know, what we talked about yesterday, they've talked about to you yesterday, review your forms, make sure that your forms are ready. You know, your application form, your acknowledgement form, and your contracts. Make sure those things are ready. So to get them ready, we need to talk to school admin support to change any changes that you need soon. They are full. They are being very busy because everybody that they serve, you know, and so they are not turning those forms and returning to you in less than 2 and 3 weeks. I was at a session today, and that's what they said. And plan your communication, you know, your communication to your new families, to the families. So those 2 things are very important. But like I said, even if you don't have the communication plan right away, you know, start sending the emails, because those things are, you know, they are timely. You know, they need to be done in time.
Do you think 5 touch points for our baptism peak, is that enough? I mean, I don't want over.
I think it's a good start.
5 from you and 5 from us.
But someone else
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Yep, I think it's a good start. Yep.
So when you're talking about those registration paperwork, which you and Kevin were talking about today, we just use the word acknowledgement. We always send a welcome letter when a family has been admitted to St. Thomas, and then we invite them to different events in that welcome letter, assuming that they're going, that's a hard copy, assuming that they're going to hold on to that all through the next couple of months, waiting for the date of whatever we've invited them to. So probably in that communications plan, the acknowledgement letter, you know, welcome to St. Thomas, and then Mother's Day is coming up, and we're doing something at our grotto. We invite them to join us there. For our daddy-daughter dance, we invite them to join us there. So,
Oh, yeah.
okay, those can all be, so those just go out to stay in touch with them.
Oh, that's so important. You know, you
Yeah.
lose a lot of students between the moment they enroll and until August gets in. So we cannot lose them, and we need to be in communication. So that's a track. That's a communication plan right there for people that are already enrolled but are not here yet. They are not there yet. So you need to have that, maintain them. That's a big point for retention. It's retention of families that registered, but then they're not coming.
If you need help with any ideas, we've got them. We've got them. If I were in your shoes, I would do this. You know, I would go big, and so I'm always happy to help.
Yeah.
This is, I can find this out myself, but wonder if you know, do you know what the email address that parents are, like, what is it, customized to St. Thomas? Or is it
Yep,
all
yep. So you choose that. You choose,
So they see what they see.
Go to
they
St.
come
Thomas.
from.
well, I was just going to show them, like, in my template. So if I create a template, default reply to.
That's who it says sent from as well.
This one would be from whoever's on your main system. What is your main system, your login?
What do you mean?
Would it be like,
So you can put it that anytime you are sending an email, you can decide who you want to get that email
Could
from.
it come from the admissions at
Admissions.
right, you're gonna,
Because Infinite Campus always has Infinite Campus, you have to put in the subject line, St. Thomas Weekly Newsletter or whatever.
sure.
All that. So it's just on the same way, or you can have it from Ryan Corcoran at St.
Yes, you
Thomas.
can. You can put anybody there.
I believe so, yeah.
And it will come from them.
It will come from them. I don't know per email if you could change. Thanks, Jerry. I don't know about that. Because it's right here.
If you are,
Yeah, let me see, because, right, I'm looking at this general, like, so then ours come from Lucia.
Yeah, comes from me because they are inquiries, but you can change it. The moment you send the email, you can change. So you select all the people that are gonna get and you change it. Let me see here.
Here, can you share this tab too? Sorry, people aren't,
Okay,
I'm sorry. Rona.
okay, so virtual. I was gonna go to.
Yeah, let's email Rockford tonight.
No, I was gonna check that to St. Thomas. Okay. The same, yeah, but it's not alphabetical.
SAM.
Yeah, because they do it. Okay, St. Thomas, you're here, Ryan. You mind? So let's see what kind, let me get here. A student in enrollment. Does anybody have a question?
Oh, so Christina's comes from info. That's what she said. Info. So can you go back to that chat, please? Christina at DPA. Info plus Divine Providence Academy at schooladminonline.com.
Yes, you determine what you want.
Summer, okay.
Okay, so wait.
So I think you changed that in your profile, but you would have to, you wouldn't change it per email. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't, it's this, the admin.
So let me
settings.
see what. So these are your email templates, Ryan, the ones you have.
All we have to use is the parent portal one.
So you don't have a default reply to set up.
Right.
So you put whoever you want here. If you
Right.
want these ones to go to your business manager, so you put your business
I
manager,
think it'll say though that is coming from the.
Right.
right, yes,
Oh, yeah. It's the info.
that's the info. When it
Thanks,
doesn't have.
Christina. That's helpful.
But you can put like format, mine is there, so it comes to me. But
So-
you can decide what you want.
So Christina, do you mind unmuting and telling us what your weekly experience is? Do you like using that for your newsletters?
Yes, I love using school admin for our newsletters because all of the emails are in there, so it's really convenient. And I can decide who I want to send it to, what grades. I just want to send it to a smaller grade, just a few people.
Okay, so but are you triggering, is it in a plan or you mess with it every week?
I change it every week. So I don't put it in a template. I usually create it in Gmail. And then I send that Gmail to the teachers so they can all see a copy. And then I copy and paste it into school admin. And just after I pull up Communicate, then I just put it all in there.
Nice, okay, cool.
Do you have them as templates? Would you mind if we?
I don't have it as a template.
Ah, okay. So you create it individually and then you just go to the list of students and you sort and choose the grades and the things that are appropriate for the message you want to send,
Correct.
right?
Yep. Usually I created under search and reports, you can do a saved search. So I created a list of all our infants through 8th graders. And so then I just, oh yeah, you have it right there.
Thanks, Christina, sorry.
Yeah, and so if you click on SJ infant to 8th,
Okay, cool.
and then I just check the box to highlight all of them and I go to Communicate, then I paste my email in there and that's how I send it.
Cool.
Can you show, Sarah? what
Can we
you
click
got?
on that? Is that all
Is
right?
that okay if we just show? We're not going to send anything, but just.
This is just the list that we'll see.
Yes, this is just the list. So you
Look at all
click
the fields.
here.
I click on that. Yep.
So
And then-
you look up here and then you communicate. This is how you do, yeah, and then you communicate.
Yep. Click
Yeah,
Communicate.
separate from, go ahead.
And then send email.
Communicate, send email. Yeah.
I see, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not.
No, we are not.
I'm getting too close.
It takes a while to send it. You have to go through a lot of stuff before you send it.
Thank you. That wouldn't be a communication play, that would be your one-off occurrences, so, thank you for sharing, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Paula. Any other questions? I don't wanna keep you, I know 8 is our cutoff time. Probably overloaded you a little bit. but I'm happy to help in any way. Katie, what can I answer?
So I think you said that you were going to have a video that we would have access to that would kind of get us started, or like, here's how you can start your plan. Does that sound right? Because
Yep. I would send you this whole thing from Owen. He kind of talks about, but I'll give you some markers too. You know, if you're sold on it and you don't need to know why you should have this, then you can, you know, go to minute 8. But I can also send those Canva templates. If you want to manipulate them yourself, I can put that in the marketing minute. And I can also send you the PDFs of the last 5 that we sent.
Okay, because it would be nice to have like start with these 3. Like you just saying, start with the Christmas one. That'd be a great way to start. Then maybe do these other 2, and then get ready for marketing season, January, February. You know, because it sounds super exciting and super useful and everything. But then it's like, okay, well, now where do I start? Sort of.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's so easy because it's like writing your email. You write emails, right? Instead of writing them on Campus or on your Google or whatever you use, you just write there. Right. And then, the rest, it's so easy because you just click the ones that the students you want to send it to. So
once you get it set up, it should, like I said,
put a picture,
set it and forget it almost type mentality.
Put your logo, make it look cute.
So when you create that, Canva, you can just import it in, or?
Yep.
It's easy to do.
Yep, you can do PDF, you can do image, whatever. So, but then it's only one click. You know what I mean? Like if you want to hyperlink anything out, that image can only be one click. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I have that other one. I had an image on the top that linked back to our website, but then the ones hyperlinked in the text below, I was like, inquiry form, or register here, something like that.
Yeah, it has to come out of the thing so that they can click out of it.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad you're all here tonight. We are so glad.
Thank you very much.
We hope you find this useful. Let us know if you have any questions. We are always here.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
God bless you.
Good night.
Good night. Take care.